hypnosis.
Now, I believe you said you have a test.
Yes.
That you're going to show me.
Yes.
Or you're going to do something. I'm going to be your guinea pig here.
Yes, you are.
Something with the fingers, I think you said.
Yes. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, this is a test I can do with individuals to see if they are susceptible to hypnosis or not.
Okay.
It's just called a finger test. And what we do is we look to see if the person is able to have a creative imagination. And the more creative your imagination is, the more helpful it is for doing hypnosis.
If you tell me this isn't going to work, I'm going to be very offended. No creative imagination. Is that okay?
Okay. No. Maybe I'll have you lay an egg.
I feel pressure already. You know, I've got to prove here that I'm.
Okay, I'm going to move my chair a little bit,
okay.
if that's okay.
Sure.
So, okay. What I want you to do is to sit up in the chair.
Good posture. That's another show.
And put your notes down. You need to cause a little anxiety here.
I'm going to my boxing position.
And put your hands together like this.
Okay. Put the notes on the way there. Okay.
Separate your fingers. Maybe I should remove it. Okay. Like this. Now, I want you to pretend in your mind that I'm putting a vise here. And you can imagine in your mind any kind of vise. Just imagine that it's kind of lead-colored. And you know what a vise is, don't you?
Yeah, like the thing you turn the little crank and it goes closer. And
that's right. Separate those fingers. I want you to stare right there between the fingers. Imagine the vise is right there. I'm going to start tightening it. And as I do, fingers get closer and closer and closer, and when they touch, they're going to stick, getting tighter, tighter, squeezing, tighter, pushing, tighter, 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 squeezing very, very tight. The fingers are stuck together. The more you try to separate them, the tighter they become. Try to find them growing tighter and tighter. When I tap them, they'll release. And relax. Release the hand. Now, your conscious mind did not see a vise. That's what hypnosis feels like. It didn't see a vise, but it imagined a vise. 88% of our thought processes take place in the unconscious mind. And that 88% is much more powerful than the 12%, which is the conscious part. There was a struggle inside. And the conscious mind said, I don't see a vise. But the unconscious went, well, yeah, I'm imagining one. And that's why the fingers were stuck together when you tried to separate them.
So I'm still trying. Am I creative? Do I have a creative imagination then? I guess
evidently you do.
I do. Okay.
Now, if I were a magician, I'd pull an egg out from behind.
then you'd have a creative imagination. Let's see. Hypnosis has been around for, well, I know it was used, I think, in World War II, they said, for medical treatment of, in the article referred to, treating soldiers and that sort of thing. So it's been around for a while. Yeah, actually, my understanding, it's been around a lot longer than that. I had heard that it was used in China in 1000 BC, the first times. And it's been used throughout history in different periods where it's been mentioned. It was used during the Civil War for amputations and during World War I for helping people with amputations. They didn't have anesthetic back then. And the only thing they could use was something like hypnosis that we have today. In the Second World War, it became more refined and it became more acceptable to the medical community, or at least into the medical model that we use today. You know, I was just thinking, if we may still have people at home sitting there like this. So is there anything we have to do to release them if they're, or I guess you did release them.
Don't try this at home.
Okay, yeah. You could practice, but later.
No, actually the thing about hypnosis, that's an interesting point that you bring up, is that sometimes people are afraid that they're in a chair and like the hypnotist puts them out, and then the hypnotist passes out for some reason, or walks out of the room, and then they're going to be stuck in this state of suspended animation.
Or worse, because I asked several friends of mine, and the makeup woman, to volunteer. We were going to do a little demonstration of hypnosis, and nobody would do it. Nobody wanted to be hypnotized on camera, mostly because my friends were afraid of what I was going to do or ask them. But anyway, that's another story. So, well, because people really do think that you. Yeah,
they really. Well, people are sometimes afraid that the hypnotist will walk away and they're going to be left in this, this suspended animation, and they're not. The way you bring yourself up out of hypnosis, if the hypnotist stops hypnotizing you, is your consciousness slowly comes back to the room and you begin to think about what you're going to make for dinner or what you're doing that afternoon, and you just draw your attention back into your everyday life and you just wake up.
Well, that's a good point.